Soda's not good for you. Diet soda might be even worse for you. And it is so frustrating. I have to make this video, but I was watching this video on TikTok, and it was like some guy that was like addicted to soda. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not saying anything. I don't know anybody's name. This is, aside from the point, not a personal attack. But this guy's like drinking like 40 sodas in a day or 50 sodas. Like, it was so disgusting. I was like, if that was me, I don't think I'd be able to eat food for like 3 weeks, because that would just destroy my stomach. And that's the whole point of it. There might be 0 calories in diet soda. There might be not that many calories in normal soda, but like, dude, the damage you're doing to your insides because of the acidity of soda it's so horrendous. And I think we need to consider more like long-term effects of health, not just like, oh, is it calories in, calories out? Oh, is this going to make me shredded? Like, we need to look at the damage we're doing to our internal organs, because if we're damaging our internal organs and they can't function, what good does it mean if we have a good calorie intake? What does it mean if, like, okay, my stomach has long-term issues because I'm consuming something that's gonna burn a hole through it? Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I don't know if this is gonna get me in trouble, but I was watching a documentary, and it was about Coca-Cola, and literally they take their syrup from concentrate, and when it's at a high enough concentration, they have to have bodyguards because it's dangerous, like it's toxic waste. Like, they literally need to guard it because it's some classification where you can't let it get into the wrong hands. And it's like, this is what we're putting into our body. It's like, even if you dilute it, you have to understand, at a certain point, you're gonna get to that concentration in your body. At a certain point, you're gonna have consumed that amount that is considered toxic. And it's like, why don't we look at it from this perspective? Why don't we take the bigger picture? But it's always just so easy to look at the calories and be like, well, it's not that bad for you. If it's destroying your stomach, it's horrible for you. Your stomach is the end all be all in your life. Like, I want you to know that, like, most of your body is regulated by what you put into it. And if your body can't absorb stuff because you're destroying the acids in your stomach with more acid, like, that's a fine balance. You don't want to put more acidic food into your stomach because the digestion in your stomach is based off of acid. It breaks it down using acid. And like, why don't we look at it from this perspective? It's so frustrating. Like, I genuinely don't get how people have careers off of saying diet soda is good for you. It might be one of the most disastrous inventions ever, because it has made people believe that they can put this into their body and there is no long-term health repercussions. If you drink diet soda, it honestly is a trick. It's so frustrating that we don't look at health in terms of digestion. But when you look at health in terms of digestion, then you understand the bigger picture. If your body can absorb it, your body will utilize it. But what has changed in the past 20, 30 years? Actually, it's like 70 years now at this point that they started altering the food. They started putting hormones in it, doing all these processes into it so that they could sell more food and sell it for cheaper. Like, you can see the long-term effects of the food and the drink and the soft drinks and the dairy industry in our health in real time in the United States. Like, go to the beach now, it's a bunch of, like, I hate to say it, but like, it looks like, you know, SeaWorld at the beach, honestly. And this is not to like shame anybody, but you go back to the 1960s and you see like an old movie and everyone at the beach is healthy. Maybe they're not in like tremendous shape, maybe they're not ripped, but nobody is 500, 600 pounds. And it's like, why don't we look at things in terms of this perspective? Like, what was the difference back then? Like, maybe they were drinking soda, but they weren't drinking it at the quantity that we were. Maybe they weren't eating super healthy, but the food was much higher quality. And we have to learn that it's all about food selection. It's all about what you're putting into your body and the decisions that you make on a daily basis that affect your long-term health. Because I'm not here to judge you for your lifestyle. I'm just here to tell you that you can be healthier, and you can be healthier into old age, and you can have your life back instead of having all of these debilitating issues that are going to slowly start to affect you the more you put these toxins into your body. And it's just, we need to get back to nature. Everyone thinks of health in terms of calories in, calories out. I need to take this protein supplement. I need to take creatine. I need to take all of these things that are just random chemicals put into a box, and I'm going to, now put them into my body and expect it to work. And it's like, a healthy body is one that works in alignment with nature. Your body was designed to work with natural fruit, natural food, natural meat, and all of these things are now adulterated. All of these things are now altered so that your body might not be able to absorb it. And this is why I don't have hair. This is why I used to have gyno. This is why I used to be not fat, but like I had weird belly fat even though I was skinny. And it's like, what is that? It's toxic waste storing in my body. It's these toxins, it's mucus, it's all of these things that my body doesn't know what to do. So it's going to store it in fat cells, it's going to store it in muscle cells, and it's going to try to keep it away from my organs, and then hopefully over time get rid of them by, dispelling it through natural processes. But the problem is, the modern day diet, the modern day existence, we're putting more toxins into our body than our body can remove. And slowly over time, this is going to break down the detox functions in our body. And slowly over time, this is going to lead to health complications. And it's so frustrating that we're not told this. It's so frustrating that, you're not feeling good, you go to a doctor, they give you a pill. They don't tell you, this is why. Your body can't detox, and until it can detox, you will not be able to be healthy. And I'm not saying that none of these drugs work. I'm saying that we're treating a symptom. We're not treating the whole issue. We're not getting to the root of the issue. And if you don't get to the root of the issue, you can only solve the symptom. You can't solve the overarching thing, which is going to throw everything else off. And this perspective is something that has transformed my health. My hair's growing back. I don't have gyno anymore. I literally can finally breathe out of my nose because I've broken down the mucus of my body to the point where I don't even notice it. I used to have a stuffy nose 24/7, no matter what. And I was like, oh, it's just because I got sinus infections. It's just because I got staph, or yeah, I never got it back from, the pandemic. And it's so frustrating that for the longest time I thought I was just going to be stuck with all of these degenerative issues. And literally through just changing my diet, not even being super strict, but just focusing on taking certain things out of it, my health has gotten so much better. And this is the overall point of the video. I'm not here to shame you for your decisions. I'm not here to say any of these things. I'm just here to provide you information and let you know that what you're doing is potentially harmful to you. And you know what? Instead of a diet soda, instead of a soda, just drink some water. Just find a real fruit juice or something else. We're so wrapped up in oh my God, that tastes so good. My taste buds are gonna love this. But it's think of it, it's short-term gratification. It's the same thing as you smoking a cigarette or you go and have a drink. That is the same implication as drinking a soda for me. And I'm not saying it to bring fear, because fear makes everything worse, but I'm saying it in terms of just know what you're doing. And if you're drinking soda now, you can't stop, maybe try to reduce it, and then try to reduce it over time and get it to the point where you're drinking only water. And that's the path to health. That's the path to a better life and being able to play with your grandkids and being able to enjoy life into old age. Because it's frustrating that we make decisions that we're uninformed on for our entire life, and then when it's too late, we're told, you have this, you have that, you only have this amount to live. And it's you'll never have to experience this if you just take a little bit of effort and a little bit of discipline now. But that message won't be spread to most people, but you're seeing it now. So that's a step up at everybody else. And that's what we can accept. I'm not perfect. I mess up still. Most people aren't perfect. Most people, even if they say they're perfect online, they're not perfect. They're lying to you. And at least we can be honest here. At least we can admit to our faults and start to slowly make progress and start to slowly get to healthier states and take back the life that we were always meant to live. Take back the health that we were always meant to have. And we've been robbed of it because of companies wanting to cut costs and produce things for less. And the government hasn't regulated them in a fashion that preserves health. And it sucks, but it's also on the self. And I'm not one of those people that it's there's no healthy food, there's no this, there's no that. It's no, you can go to the store and find organic fruit and find fruit that hasn't really been altered. It might be a little bit more, but what's a little bit more money if you have all of your health? Because if you don't have health, you don't have anything. it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't have a functioning body, you can't live. It sucks. This is how it is, but yeah, it's what we gotta do. We gotta accept it. But yeah, thank you so much for making this far. If you want more from me, I have a Discord, and I also just made a school community. That's gonna go over things from health to philosophy to book lists to just everything under the sun that I talk about. On all my channels will be there, and I'm just really excited for that because right now it's not that I haven't built it out. Like I have a bunch of courses in there already, but I'm just excited to sit down, work on that, write a few things, just put my thoughts out and put it in a format where it's like, if you want the information, it's there. Because I previously was selling courses, and like, it's not that people don't want to buy information, but it's like, it's not like this is a service that will serve everybody. It's not like, if you want health, here's this. If you want this, there's that. Like, it has everything for everybody, and it's just like, I just want to spread information. I want to spread awareness, and I want to spread free thought, because that's the solution. Like, if you're a free thinker, then you're free. But until you have freedom of thought, you'll never be free. And it's all about inspiring that. It's all about getting to that stage. And if that whole thing sounds interesting to you, go ahead, check out the link. It might not be there, but stay tuned for a few more days. It's going to be out at some point. So yeah, really excited for that. Really excited to see you there. Thank you so much.